Speaking of people who seem to have contracted some type of mind virus or are having like some type of like delayed reaction to a vaccine about mind virus, here is RFK Jr. on the Tucker Carlson show on Monday. This is after his really embarrassing testimony in front of the Health and Human Services Committee, where he didn't seem to know any of the information that Health and Human Services secretaries generally know. This is clip number 10.
You know, my opinion, I always tell people, is irrelevant. People, we need to stop trusting the experts, right? We were told at the beginning of COVID, don't look at any data yourself. Don't do any investigation yourself. Just trust the...
Sorry, what data? Okay, sorry. I'll let it play out.
Well, no, I mean, these are all relevant questions. Also, he's not an expert. So he's telling people not to trust him and to also not trust the experts. Like, the whole point of having a Secretary of Health and Human Services is so that we have a trusted voice on these things. And while there may be, arguments as to whether public policy could have reacted to COVID better, and I certainly think that like we should have had more resources in classrooms. Teachers definitely want to get back into class, but they wanted to do so in a way that was not exposing them. We know the implications now of long COVID for kids. It is there's been a lot of immunocompromise. Immune system compromise with kids with long COVID. We know questions of myocarditis. I mean, just the FDA came out with a report that said, myocarditis was a risk of after the vaccine, but the risk of myocarditis following COVID infection is greater than the risk of myocarditis following vaccination. This is from a study entitled Myocarditis and Parasitis Following the mRNA COVID-19 Vaccination in FDA's Biologics Effectiveness and Safety System. But go ahead.
People, we need to stop trusting the experts, right? We were told at the beginning of COVID,
Instagram.
Don't look at any data yourself. Don't do any investigation yourself. Just trust the experts. And trusting the experts is not a feature of science. It's not a feature of democracy.
Pause it for a second.
It's a feature.
Here's the thing. We're not scientists. The reason why I don't trust me to look at the data and make an assessment is because I'm not a scientist. Like, Joe Rogan is out there on a platform of 15 million people and can't even decipher a Washington Post article about climate change. He can't, I'm sorry. The American public is not in a position to assess data. They're not going to look at the raw data of studies.
But I'm sorry, like, the extent that people do their own research, they will look for experts. And the anti-vaxxers like RFK and Rogan, they have their own, who purport to be experts too. It's that Malone psycho.
Do, but they're on Instagram.
Right. It's the Malone and the Weinstein brother that's a psycho.
They also have monetized their YouTube channel. So they're experts on this.
They're not collecting data. They're like vaguely putting at VAERS. That's the closest thing they get to any sort of data collection.
Oh, but you ignore all the data in VAERS.
Well, I mean, I contextualize it, but okay.
Okay. Are you okay? Okay. You're contextualizing it. Okay.
Like, I'm going to do my own research, but I'm going to avoid anybody who knows anything one way or the other more than me on it. Like, I don't understand what this call to research yourself is, but also disregard anybody who's purportedly an expert.
Experts is not a feature of science. It's not a feature of democracy. And it's a feature of religion, and it's a feature of totalitarianism. In democracies, we have the obligation, and it's one of the burdens of citizenship, to do our own research and make our own determinations about things.
About public health? No. I'm sorry. No. This is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. Are we supposed to take our own samples of like city wastewater to assess what's going on in terms of like whether COVID's going around? I mean, like, this is absurd. This is absolute nonsense. You have a guy who's in charge of public health policy who fundamentally does not believe in public health policy. For each individual of a society to decide what they're going to do when it comes to an infectious disease is completely antithetical to public health policy. He perceives it as totalitarian to look at anything in terms of what is best for society. This is why he thinks climate change is just like some type of like excuse for totalitarianism.
Yep.
I mean, this is a guy, I can tell you, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, thought libertarianism was bunk. And now has been libertarian brained as a way to, well, because of the negotiations he didn't have with Kamala Harris. Had he had those negotiations with Kamala Harris and traded off his campaign support for whatever sinecure it was that he was looking for, you would be saying none of this. None of it. But she wouldn't meet with him. And therefore, his principles are such that I've got to figure out a way to support the non-totalitarianism that's involved with the brown shirts going around with ICE. I mean, what are we talking about here? It's totalitarianism to say that like we need public health policy. We need to mandate a vaccine that we've found that will help reduce the spread and help reduce the severity of a pandemic. I mean, this is just absolute insanity. It really is, and it's nuts. All right, one final phone call. Calling from 832 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from? Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.